All right, now we're going to talk about the love of your life, fishing. When and where did you learn to fish?
Where did I go to fish?
When did you learn to fish?
When I was about 2 years old.
Back in Kansas?
Mm-hmm.
And who took you? Who took you to fish? Your dad?
No. Yeah, he did, and then we rode the horses to the perch hole. That's been a long time ago.
Were you good at fishing at 2 years old?
Well, we fished in an old swimming pool hole that had perch in it.
And you knew how to catch them?
Oh yeah, we knew how to catch them. There was 10 of us, and Mom and Dad, we needed a half a tub full. They were about like that.
And that was your fish dinner?
Perch.
Mm-hmm. If people wanted to know where to go to fish, everyone said, go see Maxine, she can tell you where to go. How did you know where the fish were biting? So that you could tell people what was biting and where they were biting? Or did you lie to them and tell them?
I practice a lot.
So you'd go out and practice? And
I go fishing about every afternoon. Now, I spend a lot of time in the tackle box, and I wasted a lot of time.
well, I don't,
What I call wasted time.
oh, you wasted time in the tackle box. You were, you didn't waste time fishing, no. So you would go out and find where the fish were, and then you could tell people
Yeah, right.
where they should go and where they shouldn't go.
Right.
Okay, how do you know what bait to use?
I don't know.
Well, how would you know to fish with a shyster in the river when the white bass used to run up the river? And how would you know that to catch perch you need a worm? I mean, that's what she's trying to
Right.
ask. How do you know that the crappie would bite a minnow? Did you think like a fish?
Well, it's their food.
Right. So you sort of thought like a fish. What would a fish want
Yeah.
to eat?
Their food.
And different
I
fish.
don't know why they hit artificial bait in the river. Do you? I don't either. It don't look like a minnow.
But certain fish eat certain things. Some will eat a worm, and some will eat a. See, I don't know anything about fishing, so anything you tell me.
You ought to learn. It's relaxing. You don't have time.
Go with her fishing one day. She'll teach you.
I don't have the patience to fish. I want to catch them
You
and
can
leave.
learn. You can learn patience.
Patience.
It's good for you.
Well, maybe one of these days we'll have to try that. But what kind of fish are your favorite fish to catch?
Crappie.
Why?
Crappie. Oh, I don't know. They're good eating and. Why?
You like the way they bite?
Yeah.
You can catch a whole bunch of them at once, can't you?
Mm. You mean, can you catch them on worms? No, you catch them on minnows.
Uh-huh. Is there any special time of year that they bite better than other times?
Yeah, about May till it snows.
Oh, so they're
Long time.
a summertime fish.
They're biting right now.
Oh, and you're
I'm
wasting.
wasting a lot of time.
Sitting here to answer these silly questions, and you're wasting time, and the fish are all getting away.
I couldn't go today because the wind was blowing about 50 miles an hour.
Well, what about white bass? Where do you catch them, and when do you catch them?
Jigs. Ask her. Jigs, white jigs,
And where do you catch white bass? The best
in
place.
most lakes and in the river.
And when is a good time to?
May, about May, April or May, so they start. They're biting now.
And you're wasting time.
Yeah.
Okay, black bass. Is there a difference? I know there's a difference between white bass and black bass, but do they bite at the same time, or are they all about the same?
Mhm.
And they run in schools, don't they?
The white bass, the black bass don't necessarily run in schools.
And if you get in one of those schools, you can catch quite a few. I think
Oh,
it's
yeah.
the same way with crappie, isn't it?
Yeah.
If you get in one of their,
I guess you'd say that. I don't know. Sometimes they're scattered.
what about catfish? What about catfish?
13. I caught 13 day before yesterday.
Catfish? How big were they?
About like that.
And where did you catch them?
At the Marina Del Sur.
Oh,
They'll let you fish on the
On
north side of it. But you can catch them all over.
what's the biggest fish you ever caught?
75 pounds.
Wow, and it was catfish?
A flathead.
And where did you catch it? I hope not off of the
On the
marina.
north side of the butte. North side of Elephant Butte.
How did you get it in the boat?
It wasn't hard. I had, there was an old man that had never fished before, a wheat farmer from Kansas, and he came down and wanted to go fishing. And I set him a line. You know what a set line is?
No.
Well, it's a trot line. You can have 25 hooks on it, and you bait it. It was cut and carved.
Mm-hmm.
And it was the first hook from the bank was 75 pounds.
Wow. That's a good size.
He just iced it down and took off for Kansas. He never had ever seen it face.
He'd never seen anything that big, and he's gonna go. Anything else you want to tell us about your fishing expertise?
Not really.
Why don't you tell them about what you did when the lake was rough in 1959?
Now, see, I can't hear her at all.
I said, why don't you tell them about what you did in 1959 when the lake was rough?
Well, it was 50, about 55, wasn't it, when it went down? You was born in 59.
Yeah, whatever year it was when you saved those men.
Yeah. No,
Yeah.
I was guiding. I was taking, that's where I kept a lot of people in the old motel, was taking fishing.
And so what happened? You were guiding,
You had who? Mr. Biggs and Mr. Mott? Who did you have in the boat with you that day? I mean, who did you save that day?
Mike from Tucson, Mike Moody from Tucson.
He was in the boat with
And-
you, right?
Guys, I took guys I didn't even know their name.
Right, but what happened that day when the lake was so rough and you were in your boat?
Oh, when the guy drowned.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I'd been up in the canyon catching crappie. And I had this man, Mike Moody. He was over here taking treatments from Magnolia Yellows because he had a blood clot in his leg. And so we was out there fishing, and I always watched the clouds because in Kansas we watch the clouds for tornadoes. And I saw the big clouds rolling up, and I told Mike, we gotta go. No, I want to catch some more crappie. I said, no, we gotta go. We was that way from Rattlesnake in the Gray Canyon. So we started down the lake, and I saw this boat upside down that capsized with Ed Biggs and I don't know.
Mr. Mott, wasn't it Mr. Mott?
They were Magnolia men from El Paso. And I took Mike over to the bank and told him to stay there, and I went and got Ed Biggs was out on an inner tube, way out, and I got him, and I got the other man in the boat, drugged him to the bank. But the one guy was dead on the bottom. The boat was turned over, and I don't know how he ever was on the bottom of the boat, but he was laying there, dead.
And so you saved the one.
And so then a big boat come down the lake because it was really bad. And he picked a dead man up and took him to the marina. And Paul Wolford had it then, didn't he?
Paul and Harry Wolford. What about,
Avery Mims had it first, didn't he? But I didn't really spend that much time on the lake.
were you around when those Boy Scouts drowned?
How?
You don't remember that at all?
You can get a picture out there of the tombstone and everything.
Yeah, I've seen that out there.
Mhm.
I know they looked for them for years.
That was 47, wasn't it?
I believe so.
40, might have been 41, I don't know.
You still go fishing every day? You go to the river?
I go to the river, I go to the lake, I go to the trout lakes, any place I can find a fish.
And if there's one there, you will find it. Do you still give advice to people that want to go
Yeah.
fishing?
If I wasn't so old, I'd start the tackle shop over. Everybody asks me about fishing. That's the first thing. I'd bet you $500. They'll walk up to me and say, "How's fishing?"
I tell you, you're famous for your fishing knowledge.
So, I don't know.